St. Mary's County Amateur Radio Association weekly net. And the net will begin in 2 minutes at 7:30. CQ. This is K3HKI, St. Mary's County Amateur Radio Association weekly 2-meter net. My name is Walt, and my call sign is W3GYT, Whiskey 3 Golf Yacht Tango. And I will be your net control for this evening's net. This net is open to all amateur radio operators, domestic and foreign. The purpose of this net is to provide the latest information concerning the club, its activities, and to check in with friends. When checking in, please use the hesitation method. For example, say this is, unkey the mic, and wait for the repeater to reset, and then give your call sign phonetically, followed by your name and location. For example, this is Whiskey 3 Golf Yacht Tango, Walt, located in California, Maryland. And I will take check-ins at this time in the following order. First, we'll call for any officers that are on channel. Second, we'll call for people who may be using Echolink to come in and join the net tonight. Then mobile and portable stations, and then members and guests. So, for check-ins now, for officers for K3HKI, please come now. This is Alpha Charlie 3, Charlie Uniform, Neil, Great Mills. Okay, good evening, Neil. I don't hear any other officers return to anybody using the Echolink node. Are there any Echolink stations to check in? Please call now. Okay, nothing heard from any Echolink stations. We'll turn now Are there any mobile or portable stations who are on channel? Please. Nothing heard from mobile or portable stations. So let's turn to the assembled multitude, members and guests. Please call now.
This is Kilo Alpha 3, Whiskey Alpha Papa, Steve in Lexington Park, Maryland. This is November 3 Alpha Kilo, John, Lexington Park. This is Whiskey 3, Oscar Sierra Tango, Rick in Mechanicsville. This is Kilo Bravo 1, Yankee Zulu, Jim in Mechanicsville. This is Kilo Charlie 3 Yankee Romeo Romeo, Dwayne in Leonardtown.
This is K3HKI. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 check-ins so far. I have Steve KA3WAP. I have N3AK John. Also have Whiskey 3 OST Rick. I have KB1YZ Jim. And the last check-in, sir, I didn't get one of the characters. I have KC3 and then I didn't, and then 2 R's. So if you would come back to me with the my missing character there, I'd appreciate it.
K3HKI repeater.
That was Kilo Charlie 3 Yankee Romeo Romeo.
Roger, thank you. So we'll turn to the business of the net tonight. Are there any officers that have something for our members and guests who are out there? Neil, I have you as checked in first. AC3CU, do you have anything for us tonight?
K3HKI, this is AC3CU. Good evening, Walt, everyone on the net. Thanks for taking the net, Walt. I don't really have anything, just going to take it easy and see what everyone else has been doing. So with that, I'll send it back to you, Walt, for the AC3CU.
Okay, thank you, Neil. Our president checked in here to John, N3AK. So we'll put you on next. John, do you have anything for the club members tonight?
No, I don't, Walt. I appreciate you taking the net. I think you're covering for Brad tonight. And glad to see you back on the air. Good to hear you there. Looking forward to Breakfast with the Hams. Hopefully I can make this next one. And so I believe, trying to remember, I believe our next club meeting won't be until July, so I'm sorry I missed the last one. There was good representation there, and I'll have to read the minutes to see what all went on there, but yeah, that's all I have. Back over to you. We will be having, as soon as I get my thoughts together, we will be having another field day discussion, 1 or 2 before field day, but stand by for times and dates. This is K3HKI, back to net control.
Okay, thank you, K3HKI, John, for your comments. Okay, our big meeting then for June will be dinner, I guess, at Solderly, where the field day crew will be holding forth. Okay, and so those are comments from the officers. Now, what I thought we would use for the topic tonight would be that if you'd like to, sort of an open mic thing, but what is it that you would like the club to know about yourself? Some maybe unique experience you may have had associated with amateur radio, or maybe any other unique experience. So go back to, we'll start with Steve here as one of the guests and members. So Steve, is there anything that you'd like to tell the rest of the membership online tonight about you that is peculiar or particular or special? Maybe very special, like all of us are.
Oh, well, I don't consider anything about me very particular or unique. So I haven't been on the radio as much as I used to be, but mostly I just check in the nets and talk to my brother. But I try to stay available to the things that come along and see what I can do. But not too much going on right now. My health has not been up to par as usual. But, hopefully it'll get better as we get warmer. KA3, WAP, back to net control.
Okay, Steve, thank you for your comments there. And family members are always very important. I haven't been able to convince my brother, the other sibling here in my family, to get interested in amateur radio. But I do have 2 sons. Both have showed interest. One did go as far as getting his technician license, but he has since become a business entrepreneur, and therefore he's busy, it seems, from morning till night, and hasn't taken time to go beyond his technician. So maybe I'm kind of doing this backwards here. So Neil, is there anything that you would like to tell the folks out in the radio land here that's special about you?
K3HKI, this is AC3CU. No, Walt, I don't have anything special to say. I haven't really had any real special things happening. No fantastic stuff or anything like this. So I haven't been on the radio that long, so hopefully maybe I'll catch some great experiences here in the near future. So with that, I'll send it back to you, Walt, AC3CU.
Okay, thank you, Neil, AC3CU, for your comments. I appreciate that. And then going back down my list here, John checked in next, N3HKI. Do you have anything special, John, besides being, I think, a very good president here and keeping the rest of us radio folks in order?
I would say nothing special. I'm retired Navy, and I spent most of my career in the Navy with the E2s, and I've still been working E2 since I've been out. So I have probably coming up on 40 years time with E2. So that's probably the only thing really unique about me is my longevity with one aircraft. But no, that's all I got. This is N3HKI back to net control.
Okay, N3HKI, thank you for your comments on that. A career in the Navy is, I think, sometimes very difficult, especially for the families. From what I have seen here since we moved here from Michigan in 1971, so it's a real contribution to the country's safety and our military strength. So I'm sure it's really appreciated by all of us, all the folks that have served in the armed services one way or another. Okay, next person on my list is Whiskey 3, Oscar Sierra Tango. Rick, good evening to you. And what do you have that's special or unique about your career that you'd like us to know tonight?
Hey, good evening, Walt.
K3.
Tonight, I guess, let's see, retired from civil service, working for the Navy, had 31 years in, and been retired about 6 years ago. Now I kind of split my time between Maryland, where my wife's from, and Michigan, where I'm from, so if I disappear from the local airways for long periods of time, I'm more than likely back at our place up in northern Michigan. So I think that's about all I can think of that may be interesting. So this is W3OST back to net control.
Well, thank you for your comments there, Rick. I hail from Michigan. My first call, amateur radio call, I think was in 58 or 59, was K3HKI for W8 land. And one of the first contacts I made on amateur radio back then in Michigan was a 6-meter contact. I think I still saved the QSL card that I received from the fellow, but it'd take a while to find it. But I still have family back there in Michigan, and a very dear brother and son and his family. So I'm going to take polling the people. Here I've got 2 to go. Are there any other amateur radio operators on channel would like to check into the net tonight? So please call now.
This is KC3WOA, Abe in Hollywood. This is Kilo Bravo 2, Sierra Kilo Papa, Chris in Lexington Park.
This is Kilo Foxtrot 7, Alpha Whiskey Charlie, Rachel in Lexington Park.
This
Bravo 3, Hotel November Oscar. Name here is Travers, and I'm at 98.
Okay, this is K3HKI Net Control. Thank you for the 3 additional check-ins. I didn't get all the calls for the Hollywood station. I think I have WLA, but I didn't get the first either letters and numerics there. So if you'd come back with your full call, I'd appreciate it.
This is Kilo Charlie 3 Whiskey Oscar Alpha, Abe in Hollywood.
Okay, I think I have Whiskey Charlie 3 WOA in Hollywood. Is that correct, sir?
Prefix. The prefix is Kilo Charlie 3. Kilo Charlie 3.
Roger. Okay, the next person I have checked in is Chris, Kilowatt Bravo 2, Sierra Kilowatt Papa. Thank you for checking in tonight, Chris. And also his beautiful wife, KF7AWC, Rachel, is checked in. So thank you for checking in. We'll go back up my list here to Jim, KB1YZ. Good evening, Jim. Thank you for checking in tonight. And we're wondering what's special about you that we should be knowing tonight.
Okay, K3HKI, this is KB1YZ. Thanks, Walt. Interesting topic. I guess I'll just say that originally I'm from New England, north central Massachusetts. My favorite state in New England is Maine. Joined the Air National Guard and worked on A-10s for a while, but I decided to switch over to Navy and ended up on active duty for 7 years, 3 months, working on P-3 aircraft. Stayed in the reserves, worked with NavAir, and did some work overseas with the NADEPs and helped with the operations at Atsugi, Japan, and in Naples, Italy. While I was a reservist, I became a middle school teacher at Leonardtown Middle for 19 years. Then I got promoted, or I graduated to high school in the tech center, and I worked for an additional 10 years. Total of 29 years in teaching, 25 years in the Navy, including active duty and reserves. Since I retired, I enjoyed going to the range, shooting firearms of all types, and I do like to ride my bike every now and then. I've got my old original mountain bike that's been to Japan, Scotland, Alaska, and a few other places. So I enjoy those types of activities. And of course I enjoy radio and enjoy going to meetings and breakfast. Unfortunately, this Saturday I won't be around. So back over to you, Walt. This is KB1YZ. How do you copy?
Well, KB1YZ, thanks, Jim, for your comments. I worked for the Navy for about 30 years. And I worked at the Naval Air Test Center when it was NATC. So during that time, I worked in the Force Warfare Directorate and I had a section there, and I had 4 P3s that I was taking care of, making sure I had pilots for and flight hours for, and certainly an interface with NavAir. So we should get together and we could swap some P3 stories about test and evaluation there. Okay, thank you for your comments. Turn now to KC3YRR. Good evening, sir, and thank you for checking into our net tonight.
Thanks, Walt. I'll share with the group, tonight is my very first contact, and so I'm pretty excited about that. I appreciate that, Walt. And unique is, to me, maybe something not so unique. I've worked through the last 3 in-person test sessions at Hollywood with success, and I'm happy that I'm done taking those tests for a little bit. And the group has that whole program running as smooth as can be. It truly was easier than I thought it was going to be to just get through the process. I just had to do a bit of studying over the last few months. But I'm excited about learning and learning by listening to folks like you. That's all I have, Walt. KC3 Yankee Romeo.
K3HKI repeater.
KC3YRR. Well, thank you for your comments, and we're looking forward to having as many new people as possible here join us as the amateur radio, the St. Mary's County Amateur Radio Association marches forward into 2024 and 2025. So we're looking forward to that. The next person on the list here, I think, is a K3WOA. I can't read my writing here. I was writing too fast, but in Hollywood. So, sir, if you'd come back at this time, I'd appreciate it.
Good evening, Walt. This is KC3WOA, Abe, Alpha Bravo Echo, in Hollywood. Thank you for running the net, Walt. Good evening, everybody else, and welcome to the airwaves. KC3 Yankee Romeo. Yankee Romeo. I missed your prefix, but welcome to the airwaves. It's certainly a fun hobby. I am trying to think of things that are interesting about me, but most of the things that make me unique to the normal person make me a pretty typical ham, I think. I like to tinker, I enjoy soldering projects, and I enjoy cutting antennas. I enjoy getting on the air, I enjoy POTA. I play with VHF, obviously with POTA, and I'm dabbling with digital mode on UHF, VHF. I think one thing that is unique about me, I guess within this group, is that I'm not retired. I do look forward to it very much, and it's something I'm excited to be someday. Another unique thing about me is I've got 3 young children that also like to be talking on the radio. I'm going to have one here say hello and good evening.
Hello, good evening.
And that's about all I have. Walt, back to net. This is KC3 Whiskey Oscar Alpha.
I got it that time. KC3 Whiskey Oscar Alpha. Okay. Thank you for your comments, and thank you for sharing a part of your life with the rest of us. I look at amateur radio as sort of a two-pronged activity. One is the technical part of it, which I think has drawn many of us into being amateur radio operators. But the other part of it, which I also enjoy, is the social part of it. We have a number of social things that come up every once in a while, which reminds me that I will be hosting the Breakfast with Hams coming up here this coming Saturday, May 1st, Saturday. So I'm planning on being at the IHOP for at 800 or 800 on Saturday morning.
See you next week on the Net 73 from K3HKI.
The camaraderie there, I think, makes the club and the group more cohesive, and we better understand each other that way from the standpoint. So if somebody says something, well, I was just sort of kidding, and it really didn't make any difference. Let's hope it's that way from now on. Okay, continuing on now, down to Chris, KB2SKP. Good evening, Chris. Thank you for joining the net tonight. And is there something about you that is unique, besides just the fact that you are you?
Well, good evening, Walt and the net. This is Chris, KB2SKP. Yeah, as far as unique goes, I'm kind of the same boat with Abe. The things that make me unique make me a ham. I take stuff apart, put it back together, and sometimes it works. I like to tinker around. Retired from the Navy. I did years technician. Been working for the Navy as a contractor ever since. I started working over in the shipyard over in Bremerton, Washington, doing work authorization forms, lockout, tagout stuff, quality assurance, operations, security, you name it. Aspects. But then came over here on the East Coast and on the Nav Air side, so submarines, and now playing with the planes and all the other stuff that flies that the Navy Marine Corps plays with. So it's been quite a ride. It's been kind of fun. Right now I'm working as a scheduler, but I jokingly, tongue in cheek, say I'm a kind of a trusted advisor or manager. So it's a lot of fun.
KB2SKP, Chris, part of your transmission there was broken up, and I'm not sure whether it's a repeater or your location. So I had a backup plan that we could use the let's see, 195, 795 repeater over in Leonardtown. I was listening to that one earlier, and so I'm not sure whether our repeater is having some transmission problems, or it's atmospherics, or your location possibly. But anyway, thank you very much for your comments, and we'll turn now to KF7AWC Rachel. Good evening, Rachel. Thank you for joining us tonight. It's always good to hear your voice on there, the way you pronounce your words. So what is unique about you?
Well, good evening, Walt. Can I get a radio check?
Yes, loud and clear, Rachel.
Outstanding. Well, good evening, everyone, on the St. Mary's County Net. It's nice to be here. Missed you guys last week. We've just been really, really busy getting some things done, and having a boy who's traveling now to Baltimore and D.C. all the time, so it's been a little bit to get used to. As for what's interesting about me, well, I am a really interesting person in the sense that I have, my father's from Brooklyn, my mother's from Alabama, so I am something between an Italian, an Italian Brooklynite and a redneck, so it makes it really interesting. But I also am just really like tinkering like Christopher does. I love to build things, work with my hands, and I really like to know how things work. And so that's one of the reasons why ham radio became really interesting to me through Christopher. And I'm just really grateful that he shared his hobby with me. And now it's something that we enjoy together as a couple, and it's something that we can enjoy for years to come. And I just look forward to all of the fun that we can do with it. So I thank you, Walt, for running the net, and I will hand it back to you. This is KF7AWC.
Thank you very much, Rachel, for your comments. You're always a pleasure to meet and talk to, that's for sure. So I'm going to do one last call to see if there's anybody else who'd like to join us tonight. So are there any other stations, Echo Link, let's say, or mobile or portable, or from the general multitude out there someplace or other, would like to join us tonight? So please call now.
K3HKI repeater.
This is Kilowatt Bravo 3, Hotel November Oscar. My name is Travers, and I'm at Piney Point.
Station that called in with Hotel November Oscar is the last three. Believe it or not, my pen here stopped writing, so I needed to retouch the tip there and get things going. So thank you for joining the net tonight, sir. And if you give me your full call, I have the last three, HNO, Hotel November Oscar. In Piney Point, ending in Hotel November Oscar. Are you on the air here for 0464 to the repeater? This is K3HKI. Well, I have not heard this last station, and I'm sorry to have missed him here. I'll be on for a few moments after I close the net. I'm going to close down this session tonight of our St. Mary's County Amateur Radio Association 2-meter Tuesday night net here, net for the 28th of May in 2024. So, closing here, being known for the net, this will I'd like to everyone that this is the net control. The net is reading.
W3GYT is AC3CU.
AC3CU. Good evening, Neil. What can I do for you?
Well, the last check-in was Kilo Bravo 3 Hotel November Oscar. It was Travers from Piney Point. I guess you didn't catch all these call signs.
Okay, I got that. My pen's writing here. So I got Kilowatt Bravo 3 Hotel November Oscar for the station in Piney Point. It's not John, because he's down there someplace too, almost in the high water level. But I'm sorry, this other fellow hasn't. We didn't get a chance to get a hold of him. They can look him up on QRZ, I think, see if his Piney Point address matches address then in QRZ. I can do that. Thank you very much, Neil. Anything else?
No, not a whole lot, but his name was Travers, Travers, I believe, at Piney Point.
Okay, I've got that too, Neil. Thank you very much.
Well, welcome, Walt. Have a good evening.
Net tonight on the 6-4 repeater at 7:30 p.m.
Hotel November Oscar. This is W3GYT after the net calling. Did you copy me?
I copy. I was just curious what time breakfast is this weekend. I know the previous breakfast with hams have been at 8 o'clock. I don't know if that shifts any earlier in the summer or if that's at the same time. What time is breakfast with hams this Saturday?
Roger, Travis, I copied that. It's been at 800, 0800, and then that relates to 1200 Zulu, because we're, I think this is daylight savings time still, so we're 4 hours behind GMT there in England, that Venus line. So, yeah, we'll look forward to see you. Come on up. It's kind of early, but then that leaves the day free for you to be able to do other things. So, do you copy that one, Travis?
I copy 0800 breakfast hams at IHOP on Saturday. This is Abe, Alpha Bravo Echo in Hollywood, KC3WOA. I did hear the call from Travers checking into the net. I heard him check the net, but when you called him back asking to repeat the call sign, nothing was heard on my end either. So he called to check in. I didn't hear any subsequent calls from him. This is Abe, Alpha Bravo Echo, KC3 Whiskey Oscar Alpha.
Okay. Well, thank you for those comments. So let's hope that he's gotten the information. Look forward to see people up there. I will be sending out a notice on our website. See, I think I mentioned that our website is whiskey K3HKI.org. Anyway, I'll be sending out notice on that later on in the week to see if get everybody at least knowing what's going to happen. But, okay, thank you.
K3HKI repeater.
This is W3G West, testing ourselves with another couple